Hey, I'm Paul with Retro Gaming Arts, and today we're going to be talking about the Mega Man series for PlayStation, specifically X4. There was X4, X5, and X6, which are different than, obviously Mega Man for a Nintendo or Super Nintendo, because the PlayStation has power, and it packs the power into these with all new mechanics and extra things. So it's everything you want from a Mega Man game, but more. So let's go check out X4.
Hey everyone, this is Dylan with Retro Gaming Arts, and today we'll be reviewing Mega Man X4. This is the first installment of the Mega Man X series that came out for the PlayStation, starring, of course, Mega Man and his fellow agent known as Zero. When the game starts, you have your choice of the two, and it helps fill out the story to play both, though I would recommend selecting Mega Man first. In either case, you'll have your starting choice of the 8 stages, each including its own boss and hidden upgrades playable in any order. Before getting started, I would suggest changing your controls to make it easier to dash jump while you're charging the blaster. Something like this should do. I will note that this is only necessary for Mega Man. The first thing I always go for is the new armor. Each piece will change Mega Man's appearance and give him one extra bonus to his abilities. They're all extremely helpful throughout the course of the game and should definitely be retrieved as soon as possible. Plus it looks cool. Next up would be the heart pieces and any other hidden items to be found around the various 8 levels. For many you'll need a boss weapon from some other stage, though if you play the stages from left to right, top row first, you only have to go back twice with Mega Man and once with Zero to get everything. There may be a better order to play them in, but I am not aware of one. I would also suggest choosing the blaster upgrade for Mega Man that leaves the electric ball dealing more damage rather than the 3 full charged blast. The blast can be frustrating to get used to using, and the electricity just does so much damage. Health and energy cells are dropped as you go along by enemies replenishing you when you're low, and not to forget are Mega Man's classics dash and wall jump that both make for quick movement and a lot of fun obstacles to get around. Every so often, you'll find a new vehicle for Mega Man to hop in and take down some Maverick Replica Force. There's a mech suit, and the other is a jet/airmobile, and needless to say, they're both a lot of fun. If you're a Street Fighter fan, you may notice that Dragoon actually tries to Hadouken and Shoryuken you throughout the fight. Personally, I thought that was an awesome touch. The boss fights always have a pattern to them you'll want to figure out, and each boss has a weakness to one of the other boss's weapons, though I've found that everything was fairly easily beatable with just the blaster upgrade, and oftentimes it does just as much damage. Some are harder than others, though they're all doable within some reasonable means. Once you've gotten through 4 of the 8 levels, you'll be challenged by the Colonel before you can continue on with the next 4 stages, and then once done with all 8, you get to go into space and fight some more. At this point, you certainly haven't seen the last of him. As I said before, there are weapons gained after the boss fights in the stages as in all Mega Man games, and you'll be told what the weapon does when you receive it. This is what your save file should look like before you move on to the final stages of the game. After some ending areas to move through, you get to this final room where you have to beat all the 8 bosses over again before taking a crack at the final boss. You are supplied with a large heal and recharge between each boss fight, which can definitely prove useful. The last boss in this game is by no means a cakewalk, and it's very likely you'll die a few times before beating him, so try to make sure you have plenty of lives or save before the battle. After beating his first form, he has a second, which is more difficult, and in some cases you can't avoid being hit. Last and most difficult is the third form, which was quite a challenge. What I enjoyed about the Mega Man games, though, is that challenges aren't frustrating or unreasonably difficult. You always feel like you can succeed with a little effort or some pattern memorization. So once you've neutralized the Maverick threat with Mega Man, it's time to go do it with that laser sword-wielding badass Zero. When you play Zero, he has a different backstory shown to you in the beginning, and spoiler alert, it's kinda dark. Zero wears red armor and doesn't have a projectile blaster, but only a sword. It's a small amount more challenging to play as Zero, though I found it to be a lot more fun. He has his sister Iris guiding him instead of Double, who was the one that explained missions to Mega Man. You go through all the same stages, and all the upgrades are found in the same places, although Zero does not get any armor upgrades throughout the game. He does, however, get the other enhancements to his abilities, which are very similar to the abilities Mega Man gets with his armor pieces. This is certainly a much more up-close and personal kind of playstyle, though the game compensates for that by giving you the ability to slash enemy fire out of the air. It's unfortunate not being able to dash in midair for a while, as well as not being able to hover for a few seconds ever, whereas with Mega Man, the boot armor piece, which contains both of those upgrades, is found in the first zone. Zero's playstyle differs also in that his boss weapons are mostly skills and aren't cycled through but can be used at all times. Zero has to gain such abilities in the same way as Mega Man, except for the armor. As you'll notice, the armor areas are empty and there's nothing to be found there. Some bosses you may find easier with Zero than you did with Mega Man, and with others it's the total opposite. Still, everything is beatable and provides a fun challenge along the way. Boss patterns are all the same, though your attack patterns may have to change depending on the enemy you're facing. Again, each stage boss will have a weakness to a move you received from another stage boss. The new moves descriptions are provided upon obtaining them, though Zero's moves seem to be all Japanese names. Also, just as we showed you with Mega Man, this is what the save file should look like before you move on to the final boss with Zero. Well, that's it for me. Thanks for watching, and now back to Paul.
You get the same challenge from the original Mega Mans, but you get a little bit more challenge because it's a little more fast-paced and there's more variants of how you can move, shoot,
Extreme graphics.
makes more challenging, but you can still beat it, and the best part is that rewarding feeling when you beat Mega Man. When you play a level 7 times and then you learn where everything is and you learn the button combinations to make all the different jumps and then you beat the level, so rewarding. Such a good game. I'm Paul with Retro Gaming Arts. Thanks for checking this out. Thanks for subscribing. Stay tuned to next week for more videos.